before I was going to graduate, I said I'm going to try to make my YouTube channel grow by the time I graduate. So that was going to give me about 1 year. And I said if I couldn't see any progress, then I'll go look for a more traditional career.
Calm down before you stress up the groove. The energy a little different when the blessings accrue. Hey, who you talking to? Just know I ain't no regular fool. Could be anything in the world, but I can never be you because I stand tall like I'm on my tiptoes, baby.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is episode 3 of the Cup Noodles to Career podcast, and this is a very, very special one. Justin Odisho is that one person who taught me editing when I was just starting out in filmmaking. In this episode, we dive deeper into his YouTube career, what worked for him, what didn't work for him, and how he reached to this pedestal of 900k subscribers. Information and lessons packed podcast for anybody who wants to get into the filmmaking industry or who wants to be a YouTuber. Listen to the full episode, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey Justin, welcome to the CNTC show. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
It has been a pleasure hosting you on this show. I've been watching your videos for the last 4 years, and when anybody asks me that they want to start off with editing, they want to start off with Premiere Pro, yours is the number one channel that I recommend because I learned so many things from your channel. I'm self-taught. When I say self-taught, of course, YouTube. I never went to a formal film school, and your channel was like that film school for me when it came to editing. So thank you so much for giving me your time. I know it's super valuable, but I really, really want to know how you came to the spot where you are right now. What's your story? How much role did your childhood play in this?
Sure. Yeah. So thank you for watching me for that long. It has been a while now. I actually started my channel in 2011. I started learning how to use Photoshop and edit videos and stuff like that in around 2006, since I was like a teenager, as for fun. And around that time, YouTube came out around that time, and I was making fun videos, lots of like video gaming videos, and I became pretty good with the software, and a lot of my videos kept getting copyrighted for music and other things, and so I enjoyed making videos, but I wanted something that I knew wouldn't get taken down, or something steady that I could enjoy posting.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time in 2011, I began my channel posting Photoshop tutorials and how to use Photoshop, and it all slowly evolved from there into more education around all the other softwares and other interests of mine as well.
That's very cool. I now see that now you have built like an empire of not just your YouTube channel, but I suspect that you also take freelance video editing projects. And along with that, you also have an online store. So you're doing e-commerce as well. So how did you build this sustainable sort of structure online? And if somebody wants to start it now, what suggestions or advice would you give them?
Sure. So from the time I started 2011, it was all just for fun. It wasn't really a business. I still was working and going to school. And like you said, around 4 years ago, like 2017, is when I really started to put more work into it and try to make it a more sustainable online business. It firstly just began with producing a lot more content and trying to generate more traffic, because if there wasn't any traffic, then you can't really make it sustainable or monetize it. But then after I got the traffic and built up a subscriber base, it just was natural progression to kind of release a digital product, my preset effect packs, because I was making all these tutorials about effects and people were asking for presets. And then I just continued to naturally do that. And also when you're getting all this traffic from YouTube, just like yourself, you found my channel and you get to meet different people, and sometimes there's different opportunities, whether it's freelance work or podcast collaborations. And yeah, I don't like doing freelance work too much, so that's why I try to focus on the e-commerce and other things.
Right. So you said you don't like to take a lot of client work. How is your time distributed, and why is your time distributed that way? That this time will go into, let's say, YouTube, and this time will go into things that sort of diversify from YouTube, and these could be affiliate, these could be your e-com.
So I mean, ideally I would like to just do it like 90% or even 100% just focused on building my channel and my
Hmm.
websites and products. But
Hmm.
sometimes there is a good opportunity to work with a brand or a company like Adobe might
Hmm.
want to work with me. And so those 10-20% of the time it makes sense to pick up the clients. But
Hmm.
that's just because I mean, I'm lucky to be able to do that because I'm getting a good amount of traffic across my
Hmm.
videos. But in the past, I was more, I began all client and freelance and slowly had to shift it this way. But I do it that way just because I think when you're building something for yourself, it's just a lot more flexible. It's a lot less stressful, and it
Right.
feels better to work on your own time and details.
Right. And you're completely self-taught?
Yeah, I learned just through practice and resources online, just like anyone else. I wouldn't consider myself a filmmaker. I wouldn't consider myself like, I would consider myself an expert in the editing softwares. And
Hmm.
that's very specific because when people see that you make videos, they might also assume that you're an expert. There's so many different fields that go into video creation,
Hmm.
from like being able to use a camera and lighting and photo editing or video editing. And even
Right.
within the editing software, there's different expertises, like whether you're a professional color grader or a professional sound person. So I think it's easy to wrap people like yourself or I into just like a video creator bucket,
Hmm.
but I don't pretend to be an expert in lighting and sound and audio and all this stuff. I know a little bit of everything, but my expertise is in like the editing software.
That's very interesting. This is the first time I'm sort of hearing somebody uh, put their expertise in a way that I'm not a professional video editor, but I'm a professional. I know how to professionally use these softwares, which
Yeah.
is a really,
Well,
really interesting way to put it.
well, I would say, I mean, I could call myself a professional video editor. I just am not like a professional, you know, director, like camera person. I guess
Right.
it's subjective because I do it as a profession, but I wouldn't feel comfortable directing a car commercial or something because I
Hmm.
don't know how the lighting should be, or
Hmm.
you know, but I would feel comfortable editing anything.
Right. Do you
Yeah.
ever feel like that you want to sort of progress into these other aspects of filmmaking, these other buckets and verticals?
Um, it's always good to learn. I don't really love as much the shooting and camera end of it. I much more prefer arranging the clips together and cutting the clips together.
Hmm.
And even nowadays, like a lot of people are getting into like 3D animating programs, and you know, again, even within that, there's people who are really good at special effects, like
Hmm.
After Effects, and people who are good at arranging like a documentary or music video. So, no, I don't try to do everything. As if someone who has my own channel, I have to know everything. Like,
Hmm.
I have to know how to get a good audio and decent video. But yeah, I mean, I try to continue learning, but I also like my focus as well.
Right. And YouTube, was it always the first choice? Did you like imagine that this channel will actually grow out to be your main source of income and your job and, the main thing in your life?
No, absolutely not. It was always just a fun hobby, and I actually finished university. I graduated, and I didn't know what I was really going to do,
Hmm.
and until it came to the point where I was about to graduate. I had to just kind of decide that I was going to give this a try, and also at like all I think also the industry and the digital trends all also kind of began like rising around
Hmm.
4 years ago, even more than they had been. So it all kind of came together, and I chose to give it a try, and it worked. It's been working out okay so far, but there's still work to do.
Of course, I think the at least this is what I read and what implements in my life, that it's always good to sort of learn and grow, and that's how you sort of experiment and get to know what you want to do in life. That's amazing. You mentioned university. What did you study in university?
I just studied. I majored in information technology, so just some basic computer science classes, or just different things like network security or basic coding languages. But it wasn't really much to do with video, honestly.
Does any of it come in handy in your day-to-day job?
Honestly, I don't. No, not really. I'm not trying to be one of those people, but really, I don't use it much, and I maybe could have just if I would have just had the confidence to decide earlier to work on what I wanted, I could have sped up the process. Maybe other people might major in something that works more for what they're interested in, but for me, I don't really use it. I don't think everyone should go out there and try to start their own business or whatever. It's hard, and not everyone can. But I also think sometimes a lot of people just go to school because they think that's what they have to do, or there's nothing else to do.
It's a safe thing to do, I guess. It's a good safety net.
Yeah, I guess, but it's also very expensive. I mean, here in the States, a lot of people go into debt to do it, and they also, I mean, more than the money, sometimes you might spend 4 years if you do it standard, but some people spend 5-6 years of their life doing it. And also, and 6 years is a long time. Sometimes by the time 6 years happens, the whole industry is completely different, so it's hard to keep up.
So I'm still a university student. I'm in my 5th year. It's my final year. And I'm studying mechanical engineering, which is completely off of what I'm doing. But this is what I think, and this is what I think is valid for a lot of people in India, is that university doesn't teach you a lot, but my university ranks pretty high. So it gives me a network of individuals, and these individuals work in the biggest companies. So for me to actually pitch and get projects as an entrepreneur becomes a lot easier than for somebody who is an outsider, who doesn't know anybody in any space. So I think a university can also come in handy, if not directly, but in a lot of ways indirectly, if you can harness that sort of network. It's very interesting because when I look at your life, there's very little known about your personal life. Your Instagram is also about memes, and you do host a podcast, but you're not one of those creators who shows a lot of their personal life or life outside of video editing work. So how does it go? Is it a conscious choice, or is there a lot to it? I would love to know something about it.
Yeah, I think I do try to keep my channel is more like an educational resource. People aren't all following me because of my personal life, and which I like, because this is my work. I share it. I help people, and I also have my personal life. And I don't know. It's nice to not. It's nice to have a separation, I think, but I do like this. I do also like the community, and so I like to live stream and do podcasts and other things because it is fun to have that social interaction with people. But yeah, there's definitely I'm no different than I am on camera, but I don't really take people throughout my day and vlog. I've tried to vlog, but it just doesn't feel very comfortable for me.
Is it on your channel?
I don't know. I think I had to take some down because they were so embarrassing to watch. But I think there might be 1 or 2 vlogs.
I think it could be interesting, I feel, because now people sort of connect with creators on a slightly higher level than just, you know, learning from them. And I've come to a point where I've watched so many of your videos. I would love to know sort of, okay, what goes behind the scenes? How does a person like make such videos? What's their story? And I don't know. I think just like it may be interesting. Maybe think about it one more time and probably do like a poll of how many people would like to sort of, would watch that.
Yeah. I've tried it before. I mean, I'm always experimenting. That's one thing. I'm always trying different things. So
Okay, so yeah, so you talked about how your channel is an educational channel, and a lot of people today are selling courses. So do you ever think of formalizing your content into a structured course which people can buy?
yeah, I do have plans to make a structured course one day because
Hmm.
I do have like hundreds and hundreds of videos, and they are organized as well in different playlists. And I do try to give everything away for free. So
Hmm.
there's nothing that you can't find for free on my channel right now. But I know that some people do prefer a very structured, like A to Z, a high quality like lesson that they can just get all in one package. So I've thought about making courses perhaps for specific topics like, you know, color grading from A to Z, or, you know, Premiere from A to Z. For the most part, I put everything out for free, but for those people that want more specific structure, I should get some courses out one day.
For sure, man. I think a lot of people would be interested in learning from you because you've built like a community already on YouTube. So that definitely gives you like a head start, I think.
Yeah, it's just, you know, there's always something to do. It's hard sometimes. It's just me. So I do have a long list that I like to keep of things to do, and I get through them.
Do you ever think of expanding this to like a proper team?
I have I've had people help me some, like with the podcast, someone to
Hmm.
help me edit it and timestamp it, because you know how much work this is. Um, it's like you have to listen to the whole hour and then timestamp it and cut it.
Hmm.
I just haven't fully done it. It's still been all me, and I do have so many different projects I'm juggling. So it's something that I might can try again, like just to have one person help me. But it's hard because you always feel like you know exactly where to cut it and do it. So when you trust someone else with it, you feel like, oh, they might not know which part I wanted to cut, but I don't think that's true. I think they can help you be more productive.
Right. I think delegation is uh, it's a slippery slope because you feel, oh, I can do the job in 5 minutes, so might as well just do it myself.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. So, a lot of people from the age group of 16 to 20 listen to this podcast. That's our main TG. And for somebody who's just starting out in YouTube as either a video editor who's making videos on editing or just videos on anything for that matter, what are your 3 sort of learnings from YouTube and key mistakes that you did that you wouldn't do if you start again?
Okay, so one, I was not doing it. I was dabbling too much in the beginning. You know, doing it here and there, stopping for many months, trying again. So number one would just be like, just do it, like full effort, fast. I don't know if that's 1 point or 2, because another one would be to start earlier. So one, start earlier as soon as I was into the hobby. Start earlier. 2, do it more full, like don't do it halfway. And 3 would be to try different forms of content and experiment faster, go faster. Like I spent so many years just making Photoshop tutorials. And then as soon as I tried also making video editing tutorials, that really took off. And so, yeah, I don't know, you can take it so more confidence, faster, and yeah, I don't know, make more content.
So consistency, taking quicker actions in the beginning, and I think persistence could be like the third point. That just keep at it.
Yeah, definitely.
And what worked for you? Like as a channel, a lot of people like create really really high quality content, but for a lot of people the channel doesn't pick off. So what worked for Justin Odisho?
I think part of it is timing. It's the right time. Everyone was looking for this kind of stuff. I mean, I did start a long time ago. Another thing is I have been doing this since like 2006, 7. I'm very familiar with the internet and how to post and communicate online, and so I think I had experience there.
Hmm.
Not only because I'd been familiar with it, but I also am an audience of many other, websites and channels. So I understand from an audience member perspective what people want, and I also understand how to create the content. So I think I have that inside perspective.
Hmm.
And yeah, the third one is just like persistence of trying a bunch of different things, and then when something is working, consistency of continuing to do it. There's a lot of things that's hard to articulate, like understanding what type of video will get views or what's trending, what type of thumbnail and title. Those things are hard to articulate, but I think if me growing up, using the internet and posting and making videos, I kind of understand that sort of stuff more naturally, almost.
That makes sense. So I think one thing which I've heard a lot of people talk about is that everybody, whenever they sort of pursue something, has some form of an unfair advantage. What do you think was your unfair advantage? Like, just to sort of put things in perspective, my unfair advantage could be that I live in India and the population is huge. So for me to be a creator and for me to garner an audience is relatively easier than for somebody who's producing content in local language in some other country.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have unfair advantages in life. Like, though I was born in the United States instead of somewhere without internet or whatever. I was born, with computer and internet access. I have some sort of level of intelligence that I was born with, and the timing and the free time to. I mean, there's so many things that have to be coincidences that allow me to have the time to make content online. And so I do think there's a lot of luck and timing involved, but that luck and timing only will be productive for something, if you use that luck to then work hard and hope that something happens, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That makes sense. So we talked about what worked for you and what sort of got you so many subscribers, but I'm sure there must be a lot of things that didn't work for you. For example, vlog is one of them. So what were things throughout this journey that you thought would work but ended up not working for your channel?
I think there's been different levels. Like, vlogging, it was okay, but it didn't really do much. I thought the first time that I got on camera that would immediately make my channel blow up, but the production quality, but that didn't really change much, really, between just doing the screen recording and getting on camera. I tried doing gear reviews and some sort of unboxings. I've done book reviews. I still enjoy doing those, but they don't really help my channel much. So there's been I've tried different sort of live streams. The live streams are actually fun, and so all of these things maybe didn't all have some massive impact, but I learned something from each of them. You learn what doesn't work, and you can start to build upon what did work.
Got it. Can we call this, so I like to call this process elimination and extrapolation. Tell me if it's right. You just quickly eliminate what's not working and extrapolate on the things that are working. So
yeah,
is that what you were doing throughout the channel?
Yeah, but I think it's important to also remember when do you choose to eliminate? Because sometimes, I started my channel in 2011. It had small success, but
Hmm.
I didn't really see exponential growth till like 2016, 17.
Hmm.
So sometimes you might need to do something for at least, make 20 videos or 50 or 100 videos, depending on how fast you make them. Or do it
Huh.
for a couple months before you decide to eliminate. Before I was going to graduate, I said I'm going to try to make my YouTube channel grow by the time I graduate. So that was going to give me about 1 year. And I said if I couldn't see any progress, then I'll go look for a more traditional career. So I think if you have appropriate
Hmm.
timelines to say this is working, this isn't working, like maybe 3 months at a time or something.
Hmm. Got it. You said that you would go for like a conventional career. So like if not like this, then what would that career would be?
I had no idea. I couldn't really imagine myself. I didn't really know what a traditional career would be like because I grew up always like doing crafty things on the internet and
Hmm.
making little blogs and posting, and I couldn't, that was my skill set, and
Hmm.
I'm sure I could go just work at some sort of IT job, but I never really had a vision in my head of what that would look like, and so I don't know what that would be.
Something to ponder on. But like if you could like sort of think that yeah, I think this is something with which I resonate with, what would that be?
If I was to do other things, I also enjoy music. I
Hmm.
enjoy there's a lot of things I enjoy, so maybe producing music somewhere or something,
Right.
or like working in, it still would be a similar sort of space, but it would be working in different industry instead of photo and video, maybe like the musical industry in some role or something.
But I see it comes under the arts umbrella.
Yeah, probably like some sort of mix of art and technology.
Hmm. Got it. So content creation I think it's a very tough job because there's a lot of social pressure. You have to sort of, you get addicted to the number of likes, to the number of views that you're getting, and sometimes they may drop and it can never be consistent. And sometimes you may experience like a big boom in the number of views and comments or subscribers. So how do you handle this, and what do you think are the best and the worst part of content creation?
Yeah, I think it's hard. I think it's almost impossible not to let the results, the analytics, like the views and the likes and the comments, to be totally detached from that. We all are watching that, and it does affect us. So when the video does well, it feels good. When you get a negative comment, it doesn't feel good. But I think after doing it for many years, like I said, I have detached I have like my life and then my business, and so I know that the two are kind of separate. So despite whatever comment I kind of get, I can still go have a nice day or go for a walk or something. I think it's also, after doing it for many years, you become less like affected by the up and down swings, and you become more confident in your own achievements. Like, well, whatever anyone says, that you've produced quality content for this amount of years, or you've helped people learn. So you don't have to always, you don't have to rely on likes. You can understand that you've done something that you're proud of without, no matter what kind of likes you get. But yeah, the best part of content creation is just having a platform to share and meet people, and just the sharing aspect, I think, is the best part. And the worst part is like I said, maybe the balance between living for the content and having your own because there's other things in life that are important, like personal relationships and family and such.
Right. I think as a young content creator, I've seen myself fall into the trap of just being lost in Instagram for hours or being lost on YouTube for hours. And I'm not sure if this is a mistake, and probably you can guide me here. I when I produce something on YouTube and when I see that something's doing really, really well, and I may not particularly enjoy making those kind of videos, I would stop making the kind of videos that I would enjoy and just make the ones which I sort of know will garner views. And this happened for some time, and then I stopped because it was getting to my head. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. So sometimes I think it's very important if to last in this industry, you have to have that consistency. You have to do it for many, many years. And so in order to be able to do something for many years, you have to at least enjoy it a little bit. So if you're doing things that you hate, you're not going to be able to get up, especially because there's no one telling you, there's no boss. You're
Right.
it's not, so you have to do it yourself, and you have to find the motivation yourself. So if you just don't even enjoy it, you're not going to probably survive long enough to make it. But on the other hand, it's also a balance, because the audience wants, it's not about just you enjoying it. It's if you want to make it a business, it's also the audience has to receive some sort of value from it as well. So for me, there's a balance. I may not I may not personally wake up every day and want to teach software. If I didn't need to make any money and I just could do whatever I wanted, maybe I wouldn't do that as hard. But I still enjoy just making and sharing stuff and teaching and helping people. So I can still do it. There's a little bit of balance between giving something and taking some sort of enjoyment. Whereas if you just did something you only enjoy, you have to understand that maybe you're not going to get the most audience from it because it's only helping you. But there's a balance.
That makes sense. I think strictly in terms of what you have given to the audience, I can vouch for it that you have given like tons and tons of value. And most of your videos, I think all of your videos are full of value that any content creator can sort of consume and learn a lot from it. But thank you so much, Justin, for your time. It was lovely talking to you on this podcast. I think I would love for you to sort of close this by giving some advice to young video editors, young YouTubers.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I think anyone that's listening, again, just remember what we said earlier, like try to build that confidence to try different things, and whatever you're doing, do it. Don't do everything like halfway. Give it a real effort. Have that confidence. Don't always look to the advice or opinions of other people that they might not know exactly like what is possible. And if you feel like you're able to do some pursue this certain sort of industry, then give it a real effort and see what happens. And if not, no big deal. Like at least you tried. So, but just don't waste your time, Time is valuable, so don't waste it and just try what you want.
Explore, but explore consciously.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Justin. Just once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you so much for giving us your time and your valuable insights on how you build this career. We would love to talk to you sometime soon in the future as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Yes, thank you.